Yo, I'm Kita, and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about Garden of Genesis. It's a level 60 expedition found in the northwest of Eden Grove, just south of the fast travel point. The main mob type of this expedition is Angry Earth, which takes 30% increased fire damage and 20% slash damage, so plan your loadout accordingly. Blight tinctures help, as many of the mobs spew blight all over the place. For your composition, I recommend having, if you're new to level 60, a backup tank or a beefy DPS, which helps for a couple of fights where there are mobs running around all over the place, and it can really help your healers and light DPS from getting wrecked, but it's not required. Otherwise, a standard 3 DPS, 1 healer, 1 tank composition works just fine. And to the healers out there, look out for LOS so you can hide from certain ranged attack mobs. There are 2 bosses in this instance. 1, the Caretaker, and 2, the Bladed Greenskeeper. So let's start with the Caretaker. There's pretty much 2 phases to this fight. Phase 1 is just tank and spank. He'll stand wherever you tank him and has 3 different abilities. Vine Lash, where he'll face a player and shoot out a ranged vine at them, which does a large amount of damage, and if you're hit, it knocks you down. It's a telegraphed attack, so just time your dodge. Locust Swarm, he will create a green swarm of bugs which will move around the room, dealing damage to any player standing in it, so just move out of the way. Vile Mushrooms, which he will occasionally summon a small mushroom that will explode, causing damage over time. It can be hard to see, but if you do see it, mark it and just have a range shoot it. And this gets you to phase 2. Phase 2 starts at 66%, where he will run to the center of the room and create a vine arena. He looks like he's pulling vines out of the ground, and to make it easier for your group to know when this is happening, simply tank him off center, so when he stops attacking and runs to the center of the room, it's clear to see and gives people more time to get in the circle. There's 2 common strats for this fight. This strat will cover all in. In this phase, there will be 4 abilities plus the 3 abilities from phase 1. The first ability will be End of Life. Right after he creates the Vine Arena, he will gain a stagger bar and begin to channel. If you don't break the stagger bar within a few seconds, then, as the name suggests, it will end the life of all the party members inside and outside of the Vine Arena. 2. Blight Dive. He will burrow under the ground and leap at targets, leaving a trail of blighted water behind him. Just move away from him and don't stand in the blighted water he left behind. 3. Vile Wave. He will reach down and throw forward a slow-moving wave of black water that can travel the length of the room. This ability does a lot of damage, so make sure that you move away to give yourself more time to dodge this. And lastly, 4. Summon Assistance. He will start summoning several sets of trash monsters around the outside of the arena. So once the ring breaks, collect up all the adds, kill them all, and it's back to phase 1. Note that when the ring breaks, as a healer, you want to make sure that you have everybody topped off and that you're not spamming your heals right as the ring breaks, otherwise you're going to pull aggro on everything and die. You'll go through each phase twice, with phase 2 happening again at 33%. You simply just rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. Make sure that you collect your loot from the boss's corpse and get the chest on the right side by the torch room, and it's on to the next boss. The Bladed Greenskeeper. This, like the Caretaker, is a 2-phase fight. Phase 1 is a tank and spank with 5 abilities to be aware of. 1. Mighty Slam. She'll raise up her arms and slam the ground in front of her, dealing big damage, so make sure you get out of the way. 2. Brutal Screech. She leans forward and screams, dealing damage in a frontal cone. 3. Vile Infection. She'll channel a green beam at a ranged player that deals no damage. Once the channel is complete, the player will leave behind a circle of vile ground that'll persist for 25 to 30 seconds. This vile ground deals large amounts of ticking damage when you're standing in it, so note you can dodge to avoid a lot of the damage. 4. Tunnel. She'll submerge into the ground and chase players at range. When she arrives at a player's location, the tail will burst from the ground and attempt to impale players. Note, the tail takes damage so ranged players can keep DPSing. Just keep running and it won't hit you, or stand still and time the spike with your dodge. And 5. Summon Assistance. When she tunnels down into the ground, 2 mobs will spawn. Kill the adds while dodging the tunnels. Phase 2 will start roughly at around 66%, and 2 more abilities or mechanics are now going to be added. 1. Drop Boulder. A small green ring is going to appear around a player. After 2.5 to 3 seconds, a large boulder will drop from above, dealing extreme amounts of damage. These boulders will persist and provide cover for the following ability. 2. Vile Blast. She'll raise her hands into the sky and begin to channel for 8 seconds. All players not LOSing when the cast goes off will die. Note that when the blast goes off, the boulders will also be destroyed. And just make sure people that have the Vile Infection or the green beam that's channeling into them doesn't drop it anywhere near the boulders, otherwise you'll die trying to hide from the blast. It's a longer fight depending on the DPS, so rinse and repeat until she go. And that's it. Collect your loot from her corpse and grab the chest. I hope this helps, and until next time, see you, nerd.